Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout and it's using the March Studio Calico Neverland kit. And I did pull out a lot of my stamps. I want to start using my stamps a bit more, and a lot of them are from Technique Tuesday and Cocoa Daisy, and um, I'm starting to have a lot of scraps, so I wanted to start using up my scraps. So I'm going to do a grid-like layout. And again, it's at the American Museum of Natural History, and I'm just going to start using up some of those, scraps that I've been accumulating. And I think I only have enough for 3 more layouts of full sheets of paper, and then the rest I'm going to be doing scraps. And this is page 15 from the March kit. It is 41 out of 50 for the Facebook challenge, and it took me an hour and 50 minutes to complete. And now I'm just going through again my scraps, and I'm kind of measuring how wide the photos are. So I'm just gonna cut some strips, and then once they're down, then I might be cutting them in half and stuff, because you don't want all the strips to be full length. You want all different sizes. So I'm trying to go with the blue and the brown and just a splash of, some colors. So I'm going to have some orange, some yellow, and then here I'm going to use that chevron paper that has the brown, the yellow, and the red all together. And then I wanted a little bit more of that star pattern paper, so I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to notice that there's going to be a little gap there, so I'm going to decide, and I don't notice it till I start putting everything together, but I'm going to decide on a yellow pattern paper. So I'm starting to look through, and this is from the digital print, and it wasn't from this month. I believe it was from the Atlantic, and I really like the blue, the shade of blue that it was. It was like a teal or aqua, and it really coordinated with the page really well. So this is a Technique Tuesday stamp, and one of the little banners actually had little stars on it, so I thought it was perfect. So I'm going to mount it on the block, and then this is just some leftover pattern paper that I had, and I'm just going to try out a few different colors, and I'm going to decide on the Cup of Joe, and I'm going to stamp it out 3 times. And I really liked, because the stars in the background, so on that paper when I stamped it, the stars were blue, so it was perfect. It wasn't stamping down all the way, and I think it's because I had something in behind that pattern paper. So that's the great thing about having clear stamps, is I was able to go right over top and just stamp it again, because I didn't have very much of that pattern paper left, so I couldn't waste it. I wanted to make sure I used that pattern paper because I really like that the background of the stars are blue. So this is a stamp from Bo Bunny. I can't remember what collection it's from, but it was a summertime collection. And now I'm deciding on the lettering for my title. And these are American Craft, and they're brown. And they're sort of a translucent letter. And they're really pretty. So the title for this page is kind of long actually, and I chose 2 spots, the top left and the bottom right. And there's not going to be any journaling on this, because I've journaled so much about the American Museum Natural of the American Museum, that this I just love this saying, so I just wanted to have a page that said that. So the saying is, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So I really love that, so I wanted to do a page to represent that. So now I'm looking for more different different colors of letters, and I decide on this other American Craft, and it's blue with a lighter shade of blue for the letters. And that's what I'm going to do, that even if you miss, you'll land among the. And then moon and star, I kind of did it in the yellow, so they kind of stand out. So this layout, I mean, it took me an hour and 50 minutes, but it was spread over 3 or 4 days because I started my rotation and I actually worked extra hours. Tonight is June 6th, I believe. No, June 7th. And I'm going in tonight and it's my last night, but by the time I'm done, it'll be 72 hours. So if I'm a little lost this morning, I just finished a night shift. So if I'm a little lost, I'm sorry. I just want to get this recorded before I go to bed so that my computer can do its thing. So when I wake up, I can upload it. And I might be a couple of days without uploading a layout because I was way ahead, but with working that many hours, I used up all the layouts that I was ahead. So now it's going to be whatever I get done. And I thought I might be able to get one done this morning, but my brain is just not there. I'm just going to do this voiceover and then I'm going to head to bed. So at this point, I'm just kind of trying out my letters on, and somebody asked what I was putting the letters on, and it is wax paper. She asked if it was wax paper, and yes, it is wax paper, and I got the idea from Mercy Tiara, and that's Tracy here on YouTube. And it works really well because it doesn't stick to the wax paper permanently, and you can move them around and see where you'd like to, place your title. So now I'm going to use my ATG and I'm going to glue everything down. And it's about this point that I noticed that, oops, I forgot one of the layers, one of the pattern papers, I guess. I want to put a little tiny one there. And then once also I started putting everything down, I noticed that it wasn't the right height. So I just started cutting everything down so that it all kind of lines up. And I cut about the top and the bottom, the stars, it's about a 3/4 inch strip of paper. And I'm going to glue that at the top and the bottom. And it's just sort of to frame in that what's it called? The brain isn't working. Oh my word. Anyway, the layout, just to frame in the layout. Sorry about that. Maybe I should have waited to do the voiceover. And I'm going to use my foam tape. And that arrow came in the digital kit, and it also was from the Atlantic, and the suite also came from that same digital print. And I get those printed at Staples, and it's really cheap and they're really quick, and it's like 50 cents print. And even if you go for the cheapest one, this is for the most expensive one. If you go for the cheapest one, I think it's only like 24 cents, but I like the glossy print. So it's like 50 cents. And now I decide to put some twine. So I'm going to put some brown twine at the top and the bottom of the layout. And I kind of use my stapler, Tim Holtz stapler. And I put 3 staples on one side and 1 on the other. And then I do the opposite at the other end. And then on those little banners, I decide to put blue twine. And I just kind of staple the banners together. And I think I'm going to put a little bow, but the banners are too small to put a bow also. So once the bows are done, I decide to just put them on my embellishments, and I'm going to put it on that sweet tag, and I'm going to put it on that arrow. And at this point, I'm going to start gluing down my title. And I find sometimes for my letters, I grab my X-Acto knife and I use that, or I use my fingers, just depending, if I feel kind of klutzy or not. Sometimes the fingers just doesn't want to pick up the letter, and that's when I'll use my X-Acto knife. And this is where I tried to put that twine there on the banners, but the banner is too small, so I decided against it. And then here's the story, is one of the die cuts that was in the digital print also. And now I'm going to work on that title. The rest of the title, the subtitle, I guess you could call it. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So usually what I do when I have a lot of letters like that, I take all the letters and I stick them all onto my fingers all over instead of having to pick them up one at a time. And it just seems to go a little faster that way. I don't have to keep, picking the letters. And I tried to, line it up on my piece of paper so it's centered. So it did take me a few minutes just to I don't try to do it perfect though. You can see the letters, some of them are crooked, and I'm okay with that. It just kind of gives it character, and I'm good with that. So now I'm going to take that Bow Bunny stamp, and to me that circle kind of reminded me of, I don't know, like the moon and, kind of circles around it, or Saturn. It just kind of reminded me of planets and stuff. So I just used different colors of ink and just kind of stamped it around the page. And then I'm going to take out my Cocoa Daisy stamps, and I absolutely love that stamp. It is little stars, and already I think I've used it on 3 layouts, and I'm going to use my navy ink, and I'm going to stamp the stars all over the page. And again, it's just to kind of, even though it's a grid layout, I kind of want it to go beyond the grid this time and just add some more stuff. And then I went and got some star wood veneers and added them throughout the page. And then some enamel dots in the aqua color. So I coordinate it with the page. And then I took out my, I believe it's Studio Calico roller date stamp. No, it's Dear Lizzie. And then I just stamped the date and just remember this. And I just stamped it out 3 times. And then I still have some of those clear stars, and I want to put a few throughout the page. So I put 3 on the page. And I'm going to get my Studio Calico box. And I covered my pictures. And I took out 4 colors this time. I took out a brown, a yellow, a blue, and an orange, and it turned out really pretty. I really liked the effect that it had on the page. So I'm going to leave the page there for a few seconds so that you can see it while I'm cleaning up. And again, I post my pictures of the layouts at 2Ps and at Studio Calico in the gallery. And my username is NicoleJones911, the same as my YouTube name. So that's it. The page is done. Now tonight is my last night shift, but I have no pages ahead. So I don't know if I'll be posting tomorrow. And if I do, it'll be probably late in the day. I might still post tomorrow because I don't have to go to work tomorrow night. So thanks for watching. Bye.